Welcome. Welcome. It's June the 10th, 2013. It's approximately 12:01 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, and this is Francis Revels-Bey show, better known as the Circle Grace One Spiritual and Metaphysical Internet Radio Network. And we're broadcasting right here live through Spreaker.com. We're broadcasting live right now from Albuquerque, America. I'd like to thank any of you who have been supportive, sending me your emails and what you think about the show. Maybe you have some concept ideas that you would like to suggest. I, as well as the Holy Spirit flowing through me, will definitely listen and put our ear to the ground and listen to the footsteps, the notes that you put out there for us. If you have any questions, usually you email me at iam.circleofgrace1@yahoo.com. That's iam.circleofgrace1@yahoo.com. For those of you who like to use Gmail, you can also use the same thing, iam.circleofgrace with the number 1 at the end at gmail.com, or email me at bishopfrancis at circleofgrace1.net. You can also contact me Skype internet phone number 973-685-5978. Well, we're here broadcasting every Wednesday for about 30 minutes. In the very near future, we'll have 45-minute live internet radio programs for the Circle of Grace One, which is the Francis Revels-Bey show. But one of the topics I wanted to bring forth today is wellness, and in the different forms in which you can experience wellness. Well, just before we do that, I'd like to share this special grace prayer with you today. Through divine power and by divine grace, may all who listen to today's show feel a blessing of some sort that comes to them from my mouth to their mouth, from my heart to their heart. May the presence of the Holy Spirit and the Goddess and God of grace divine be a part of your life, continuously blessing you with its glory, raining down in your life, allowing you to reign and expand on a much greater level where grace and awareness and remembrance is a part of you. All right. Thank you very much, and so it is, and it shall always be. Amen. Well, as we move forward in today's show, this is just a brief segment to get you connected to the idea of wellness and what wellness means for you. Well, there's holistic wellness, first of all, and when we mean by holistic, not just holy wellness, but we're talking about the sense of the whole you, the emotional wellness, the mental wellness, the spiritual wellness, and the physical wellness. And so many different ways now that are being expounded upon and being expanded upon. We really can't miss it now. And this is our opportunity. I would suggest, if you haven't done it, I've been doing it as well, and it's not an easy task, but it's something that you have to do, is you work on your sense of feeling pressured, and you want to become unpressured. So, a lot of people suffer from high anxieties, worry, annoyance. Maybe there's people around them just kind of getting them ticked off, getting them off center. You want to be able to go within yourself and work from the inside out, because everything you do happens from the inside of you to the outer part of your existence here in this world. And so we know that things such as meditation is very, very helpful. To meditate daily, that is something that when you get into meditation, you will find how much that you can actually control your well-being. Through meditation, you raise the lower blood pressure to find the optimum level of blood pressure that is just right for you. Through meditation, you also connect to the deeper side. You go into the molecular and the cellular memory, and you begin to root out old issues, root out old contacts, root out old beliefs, root out old contracts and thought patterns out of your system. We know that through meditation, people have been able to create the feeling and the knowingness of wellness, where there's greater and better health for themselves. You can communicate with your body. That's right. With the community of trillions of cells in your body, you can begin to communicate, establish a language for greater wellness within you just by meditating, just by praying, by talking, and sensing, feeling, and enhancing all of your five physical senses into the realm of the sixth sense, which is the extrasensory perceptions that we have that are attributed to us that we can call on. And then you also look into chakras, the chakra system, Chakra. Chakra is the Hindu word for wheel of light, and the wheel of light is the energy that your body continues to give off at your different organs in your body, your glands in your body, your skin, the meridians that the Chinese found there to be there thousands upon thousands of years old, and the acupuncturists and the pressure and also massage people. They work with the meridians that run through your body. There's 365 points of connections where they can release tension out of your body, can release stagnant energy out of your body that's accumulated in the various organs in your body. They can release pressure upon your heart, upon your liver, upon your kidneys, upon your adrenal glands, upon your pancreas, your gallbladder, your urinary tract, intestinal tract. Everything can be literally worked on through these various type programs. Then there's cleansings that you could go through to clear out the blockages of matter from the food that you've eaten over the years that get lodged in your large intestines and your smaller intestines. There's also understanding how to move the chi further through the body by using some resources as qigong exercises, deep breathing exercises, along with visualization techniques to help move that energy through your body and out of your system. There are various sound technique systems, whether it's the Tibetan bowl, a crystal bowl. It means a bowl made out of crushed gemstones that's been heated up and allowed to come together at different processes, heating processes, and then give off a pitch and a tone that can alleviate. There are tuning fork systems that you can use, which then speaks to the Hertz cycle, such as C note on the piano is 264 Hertz cycle. Tuning fork that makes it. There's bone resonators at 64 Hertz cycles per second. And so these are different tonal things that you can use. Mantras, to meditate on yantras, going into practicing Tai Chi Chuan or doing some form of internal martial arts that's for external martial arts system, or practicing different forms of yoga. There are so many ways in which we could now tap in to our wellness. Back in the 60s and 50s, late 50s and the early 60s, Tai Chi was rarely heard of. People knew about the different forms of karate, from the Japanese to the Korean to the Okinawan. When Okinawa was where a lot of that was coming from. And then people delved into the continent of Africa and found the fighting arts originated there and spread all the way into Okinawa and all these other regions. We find out there's so many different things that we can apply ourselves to. Maybe you're not a person that studies martial arts, or a person, maybe you might find yourself a person that goes to the gym and you work out with a personal trainer. Well, I found a system for myself by counting the number of steps or strides that I make within an hour. And for myself, my slowest pace is about 100, but my top pace is about 200 strides, 2 steps a minute. So when I figured that I could do 200 steps a minute, then I could figure out, well, how do I get 10,000 steps in? And I found out that a 50-minute workout of straight walking fast, walking slow, a mile speed in between, for 50 minutes stopping, without stopping. I was able in 50 minutes to get 10,000 steps in. So now, knowing I could do that, that lets me know how many steps that I'm creating in a workout. If it's going to be 20 minutes, I'm doing 2,000 steps. 30 minutes, I'm upping it more from 20 minutes of 4,000 steps up to 6,000 steps. So if I do an hour, I'm 2,000 steps. So these are different ways that you can figure out for yourself how many minutes or an hour it takes you to get 10,000 steps in. When I first started, I thought, wow, 10,000 steps, that's a lot of steps. That'll probably take me a half a day. It doesn't. It only takes me 50 minutes. Like if I walk for an hour, just walking for an hour, I get 12,000 steps in. So you can do this every day. There's people who do a lot of stretching and then the walking, which is essential because you don't need to tear any ligaments in your body or ever stretch yourself, hurt yourself in any way. So stretching is good. And those people who can get a light jog in, a light trotting jog in, all these things do what? They give us cardiovascular activity. We're able to breathe and rhythmically breathe and build up and strengthen the heart and strengthen the lungs, the capacity to bring more air in, to do more jogging, to get to the point maybe to be a runner. I myself always want to learn how. I've never been a runner, and it's taken me a couple of years now since I've been here in New Mexico. I could jog a little bit. I must say a little bit. I'm not able to jog, let's say, 15, 20, but I've been able to jog gradually, real slow for about 5 minutes. I like to do it where I feel my entire body weight really get into it. So I'm not running to try to spring off of my ball or my foot and really push out a run. I just want to jog to get that rhythm and get that breathing going. And as you do it, maybe you find out every two strides you're inhaling and then exhaling. Or every 4 strides you're inhaling and exhaling on another 4 strides. So you're covering 8 strides of inhaling and exhaling. You will find what your rhythm is for you. Maybe sometimes when I'm out here walking and jogging and I come across a familiar face, I ask in the same direction, what are they doing? Or I put my thought out that I'm going to, while I'm out there walking and jogging and walking and jogging, I'm going to come across somebody that's going to spurt past me. Usually it does. I'm out there at a certain time, person spurts past me, and then what I do, I look at my watch and I count the number of steps, the number of strides they're making per minute. So it lets me know, okay, this person is doing 150 a minute. They're going real fast, and that's their pace. And then I find some people doing 100 a minute, 200 a minute, 300 a minute. They're going faster and faster and faster. Jog up and down and make it happen. People have a slight lean forward like a run. Some people are leaning back just a tad. So I get to see all of this. And this tell me that wellness is happening around me all the time. People that walk the dogs or children in baby carriages, mothers out there jogging, it's all about wellness. So they get to multitask, get to work on being well. Being well means to be absolutely happy and to be able to generate good health with yourself. I'm not a master of good health, but I've been here at age 61 realizing, hey, I made it to age 61 and I haven't been consistent with my wellness yet. So I'm going to find more ways to incorporate wellness. Well, here's another field. We know that eating correctly for ourselves is good. Learn not only just exercise and deep breathing and walking and jogging and running, going to the gym, toning up the body, or if you do like I do Tai Chi. When you can, I do Tai Chi just about every day. I might spend 5 to 10 minutes, but I'm getting my Tai Chi in. Why? Because I love the body in a slow manner, but in a manner where I'm meditating through motions, through the movements. And that's what I discovered with Tai Chi, or Tai Chi Chuan. There's Tai Chi Cha, where you just stand in a position, shoulder width, apart with your feet, and moving your arms. And you're creating movement for the body. And that movement for the body is relaxing the body from moment to moment, because the chi, the energy, chi flow running through your body that's inherent in all of your organs, right down to your cells, are creating the opportunity for health, or what we call wellness. So I find it many different ways. There are many different ways of wellness. For those who studied or are familiar with Zen Buddhism and been in the Zen hall, times when they go into a moment of complete silence. And that silence is not because they don't want to talk. The silence allows them to enter into the mind, enter into the body. But they begin to hear that, and the mental chatter begins to just fall away from you consciously. And then you get into that moment of silence, the humming of the own sound. You can actually hear it out the body. So, and as you do that, it allows you to open up and have greater clarity. So, there are many ways. There is interactive through meditation, there is a guided meditation, or just sitting in absolute silence, just paying attention to your breath in and out through the nostrils and your body posture, how you're seated. Again, this is just another way of practicing wellness and instituting wellness to support you all the time. In fact, the older we become in the physical body, the more we're going to want to keep the body in motion. The more we want to exercise the mental, the physical, the emotional, and the spiritual. So wellness is a good thing. And we find ourselves learning how to eat better as time goes on. To eat small portions, to maybe juice, or maybe go into a fast or something. All of these things you study. Study the science of fasting. How would you fast? How do you want to go about fast? Fast on water, fast on vegetable fruit juices. All these things have to be looked at as science. And science means exact sense, exact direction and path that you're headed. So you want to look into all of these. Then as well, also through the use of crystals and gemstones, we call crystallics or crystal therapy. So it's seeing how the mineral kingdom, as we get into the gems, crystals, house the dynamic force of spirit, and how that energy is like technology is radiating, or I should call it better, radionics. That's the proper term, radionics. How the energy is being laid out in a laser form, but in a circular wave form. How all of that is interacting with the energy that you're giving off and the mineral energy that's in your body that you're giving off at the same time. So there's this dance. I call it The Dancing in the Light of Divine Grace, was a book that I wrote years ago. And now I'm considering it different, but just talking about how all these different aspects come into play. And we all have to do it. We all have to become the living example of it eventually. So you have to work on yourself in all its aspects. Maybe work also on how we are thinking, what our belief systems are. Or we're working on how we want to change our thinking. But we want to change our action. Are we just reacting, or are we originating and acting? Most of the time we find ourselves reacting. We find ourselves in conversations with different people and we're reacting. Or we're planning what we're going to say. Rather than how to allow ourselves to stay open and relaxed and in a loving, generous manner receive what we are receiving. You know, when walk around on the face of Mother Earth. We think that we are shielding ourselves from people, or from life, but energy is constantly flowing through and bombarding us at the same time. It is not really bombarding us. We are mixing our energies. We are mixing our electromagnetic energies from our chakras, from our cells, with the chakra cells and meridians of every other thing, living thing that is around us, whether we refer to it as animate or inanimate. There is intelligence, a divine intelligence behind everything. So things are just existing on what we think, just on a hope, on a string. They're existing because our personal thought are deep enough where we feel, where we sense, and where we want to see something concrete around us. And so the vision of everything outside of us is concrete. It's tangible. We can touch it. We can breathe upon it. We can taste it. We can hear it. We can smell it. We can see it. Imagine a world where you go beyond your five physical senses and understand it's just energy. And then you begin to see particles of light as molecular and atomic structures and subatomic structures. You begin to see all of this. And what it's doing is causing us to be more aware. So this is just a short topic on wellness. And what you might want to do is write down what you plan to create better wellness for yourself. If we look at the word well is feeling well, being well, acting well, as in sane, healthy. Think of object, the physical object, well. Well is a place where one could find streams of water. And farmers, miners would build wells, walls out of stone and dirt. So they know that this is where they could put a pulley system together and put a bucket down into the water, metal bucket down into the water, and bring up what? Water. At the deep part of the well, there's a stream of water, clean water running through. Well, think of the same thing with yourself. Well, you're looking to tap in to that energy stream where perfect health exists. You're thinking to tap into your thought process, your streams of consciousness, where you discover your divine self, your spirit self, your soul self, one and the same. You're looking deep inside of you. This is an opportunity now. We're living in a whole new era. People like to refer to it as a whole new Mayan calendar of millions of years, cosmic years, billions of years, and brand new journey. And we're seeing every day, every moment of our waking life, that there's an opportunity to be happier, to have the sense of what's inside ourselves, to be able to step into that and feel better about ourselves. But it's also an opportunity to begin to get rid of those thoughts that no longer serve us, get rid of those feelings, those responses, those reactions that no longer serve us. So I just wanted to share just a little bit of that with you today, and hope that it's enough for you to consider into and creating better systems of wellness for yourself, because that's what it amounts to. You begin to create better systems of wellness, and that goes into social circles as well. You know that the more positive thinking people that you have around you, the more positive people that you have around you, it's contagious. That you can't help being around people who are happy all the time, people who are laughing all the time, people who are working on themselves just like you are working on yourself. And so we know that everybody on the planet is striving for wellness. Everybody wants a greater sense of wellness, which takes us into awareness. What are we aware of? I've often have spoke about this before. What are we aware of? What do we notice that's going on around us? What do we now remember since we are growing more aware? What do we actually and really do remember? Well, this is an opportunity to stretch out across the state of Mexico, my new home state, across the city of Albuquerque, up into Santa Fe, down into Bellows, down into Los Lunas, up into Las Cruces, going all over the place. Being able to connect with other like-minded souls. The beauty of this is sharing the things that I've learned and the things that I'm learning at the same time with my greater listeners. Again, if you'd like to be in touch with myself, Bishop Francis E. Revels-Bey, many of you know me just as Brother Francis Revels-Bey, you can certainly call me on my Skype internet number, 973-685-5978. That's 973-685-5978. Or perhaps you'd like to reach out to me with an email at iam.circleofgrace. That's the letter IAM dot circleofgrace with the figure number 1 at the end, yahoo.com, or iam.circleofgrace1 at gmail.com, or Bishop Francis at circleofgrace1.net. And I'd be glad to email you back and talk about this or further about wellness, and maybe you want to share some pointers with you. I could tell you I lived in New Jersey. Twice my weight went up to almost 300 pounds, and I'm only 5'7". And both times I worked and fought and struggled to get that down. And then when it was my come here to Albuquerque, New Mexico in 2011, after being here in 2010, coming back in March of 2011, celebrating my birthday with my spiritual family, then I was excited. At that time, my weight had gotten down to 264, and I diligently worked on it, my weight every day. And when I arrived on November the 15th, by way of Amtrak here, I was weighing 244 pounds. Then the battle was on. I kept working on it. Sometimes I got lazy. I must admit, when you're working on yourself, you can find many excuses not to work on yourself. But I kept at it until eventually my weight came down in 2012, around Mother's Day, May 2012. I was shocked. I hit 200 pounds. And shocked myself, so I went back up. But now my weight is around 227, 220 and a half, and I've been able to maintain that now for about 8 months and getting better. We're going to sign off, but be in touch with me. Thank you so much. This is Bishop Francis E. Revels-Bey. I'm the founder, host, and chief principal teacher of the Circle of Grace One, founded on July 2nd, 1999 AD, under the aegis and the Angel of Grace through divine providence, which also has its very own spiritual and metaphysical institute called the Circle of Divine Grace. See you next week. Next week, I'll be here, 17th, Monday at 12 p.m. Divine grace is a blessing, and we are alive and well. Amen.